Welcome to 18 Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to preferring solutions that will benefit humanity. And our topics for today on aviation: passenger arrested aboard flight over theft. Sumi Madogu, 12 suspects arrested over journalist's death. For insecurity, Horiwa faults FG's over genocide claims. Viral story: former non-weds ex-priest. We're open for sponsorship of the program, jingles and advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product, service promotion and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, Evo TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, IFA's Tech platform, Apple TV, Ninja TV, Iroko TV. You can also connect with us on 18 socials, subscribe, like and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. On X, at Atlantic TV Net. We'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we will introduce our guests for today and dive right into our stories. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Today with us in the studio we have a very special guest. His name is Mr. Chukwuebuka Precious Samuel and he's a public affairs analyst. Welcome in, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. So the first story that we will be reading today is that of the aviation, where Ibom Air passenger has been arrested for allegedly stealing a large sum of money from the luggage of a foreign traveler during a Uyo to Abuja flight. The incident triggered a scene on board as crew and passengers intervened. The suspect was reportedly caught after another passenger raised suspicion. A viral video shows the moment he was escorted off the aircraft amid mockery from fellow travelers, according to accounts shared online. The victim placed his hand luggage in the overhead compartment. On landing, he noticed the bag had been tampered with and his cash was missing. A female passenger reportedly saw the suspect move the bag earlier in the flight, and on the spot search, allegedly uncovered the missing money in his possession. Security agents were immediately called to arrest the suspect upon arrival in Abuja. Ibom Air has yet to issue an official statement on the incident. Now my question on this story, sir, is what security measures are in place on flights to prevent theft from passengers' luggage, just as the situation that we have here?
Okay. I think the security measures, right, that should be taking place here is the air hostess, Abby, right?
Yeah.
The air hostess, yeah, they should be able to, you know, make sure that the luggages and the packages of their let me use the word customers, because those who boarded the flight, they are like they are like someone who actually went to the market to get something. So let me use the word customer. So anyone who goes to their airline to board the plane is known as their customer. So they should be able to make sure that their luggages and their properties are being secured, properly secured, being taken care of. All right. When you do that, if you do that, and again, I think another thing that should be done is if they should give them a tag, anything that has to do with tag, anyhow they want to do it. But I think that tag will help to know if you give them a tag, if you give the owner of the luggage a tag, then you also put the same tag on the person's luggage, so that anybody who tampers a luggage, looking at the person's tag and looking at the tag on that luggage, you'll be able to know that, okay, this luggage is doesn't belong to this person.
Okay, that's a great one. So we've had situations like this where, especially recently, the whole aviation stuff, people fighting over the plane, people having issues on the plane, stealing on the plane and all of that. So my question now would be, how do airlines handle incidents of theft or misconduct? The whole social media presence isn't necessary because these people are their customers, like you said.
Yeah.
So when things come up like this, is there a need for it to be made public on social media? How do they handle these incidents when they happen?
All right. I think it's not really advisable putting it on air. Because when you think, most times there is this thing that they say that there's this adage they say that when you're pointing at somebody, the other hands are pointing back at you. Now, if you are trying to bring up such issues online, you are technically telling the people that you people are incompetent. All right?
The aviation itself,
yes. They are technically telling the people, the masses, that they are unable to handle these matters very well. All right? So if such a thing should come up, you should handle it your way. If you're handling the person sorry. If you're taking the person to the security personnel, you do it quietly without bringing it online, except in cases where there are persons, they are not the ones. Yeah, there is other passengers that actually took it online. But as for them, it's not advisable taking it online. This is your business. This is if you do it that way, a lot of persons might get discouraged coming to board plane in your airline. There are a lot of airlines in Nigeria.
But should that be a problem, considering the fact that, I mean, I'm not going there to steal, so why should I be bothered about if the airline decides to post, stuff that happened on social media for people to see? Because I'm not going to board the flight with the intention of going there to steal.
Exactly.
So I think it's only of a great disadvantage to people who have wrong intentions. That shouldn't be a problem to someone who just wants to board a flight.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Do you know why I said it should be? Okay. Now, you are not going there because you want to steal. Quite all right. But how about thinking in the perspective of this one that Ibom is always having issues, one problem or the other. I don't know the one I will have there now when I get to that, or I don't know the one that will happen to me, the misfortune that will come before me. So I better avoid it and go follow other airlines.
Yeah,
do you get? So it will not give them a good name. Okay, look at the last one that happened. It's the same Ibom airline.
Exactly.
The girl. What's that her name?
That had the whole fight on air. And then,
exactly.
Yes.
And now, this particular one, the same Ibom airline.
True.
So it's not giving them a good name. All right, it's not giving them a good name. Some issues like this, there's no company, there's no airline that don't have. There's no way. It's not possible that anybody will tell me that other airlines does not have these casualties, these problems. It's not possible. But they kept it within themselves, handle it their own way, and make sure it doesn't go out. And that gave them a good name, all right? A good name in the sense that nobody is dragging them online. Their names are not out. Now, some persons will be very comfortable going there to board airlines. Because
they feel that since they are not on the news all the time, they don't have issues.
Exactly.
All right. So now, the person whose money was stolen on this flight is actually a foreigner, a white man, let me use that word. Does this not paint a bad image? Because we've always had issues or situations where they say that, Nigerians have this bad image outside the country. Now, this is happening right in our country, it's the same scenario where a Nigerian guy is stealing from. I mean, you boarded the flight just to go and steal. What image does that paint? Does this actually justify what these people think of us?
Okay, well, you see, everybody is entitled to what they think. All right, but looking at what they are thinking too, they are right.
But not everyone does that. No, that's the problem.
All right, but not everyone. And then this is where trust issues comes in, because now because of the encounters this man has gotten from some of the Nigerians, they will now be afraid doing anything with a Nigerian.
With Nigerians,
all right. They will be very much afraid because they in their mind they are seeing these persons as thieves. They are seeing them as 419ers. They're seeing them as rogues. Different aspect, different perspective will run into their hearts. And like I said, everybody is entitled to what they think, okay? But then, in as much as everybody is entitled to what they think, it doesn't make one to look foolish. Foolish in the sense that you are now doing the things you ought not to do because of probably money, because of greed. All right, because of indiscipline, because you cannot discipline yourself enough to hold yourself over some of these worldly things that we see.
All right, thank you so much for that. So, considering all of this, are there consequences for situations like this where people steal, on the plane? Normally if it happens right here, you just probably take the person to the police station or something. So are there legal consequences for passengers caught stealing during a flight?
Yes. I think they should, because someone cannot do such a thing and then just go scot-free. I think there are security personnel there who will handle that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so the next story we have is that of the FCT Police Command has arrested 12 suspected armed robbers linked to the deadly September 29 robbery at a unique apartment, Kishiri Village, Katampe District, Abuja. The incident claimed the lives of TV journalist Somto Chukwu Christella Madwagu and a security guard, Barnabas Danlami. According to investigators, the gang of 14 attacked the building around 3:30 a.m., shooting the guard before breaking into the compound. Madwagu, in a desperate escape attempt, reportedly jumped from her third-floor apartment and later died in hospital. The suspects were traced using stolen phones and digital intelligence. Items recovered include an AK-47 rifle, a locally made pistol, live ammunition, knives, and mobile phones. Police said some of the suspects confessed to their roles in the attack, including shooting the guard and sharing the proceeds of the robbery. Others were arrested while allegedly heading to another planned operation in Maitama. Legal practitioners have called for swift prosecution. Lawyer Pelumi Ola Jenbesi urged authorities to ensure justice is served without delay, while Oladotun Hassan advised the police to complete investigations thoroughly before trial. The FCT Police Command said the investigations are ongoing, adding that more suspects may still be apprehended. Now, this is happening to, I don't want to say that, this happened probably because she said something bad about a high-profile personality, but talking about on-air personalities generally, because I feel like the job of the broadcasters or, basically is to serve like the voice of the public. Right? So what happens in a situation where they are not safe, as this one? So let me just go straight to the point. What are the measures that you think should be provided for, on-air personalities as this? I think that's the better way to put it.
Okay.
Should there be security or anything of that sort because a lot of them can be found in situations like this. We don't know what caused this one. It could just be normal robbery. It could be that she said something bad about someone we cannot say. So what measures do you think should be put in place? What measure of security should be put in place for on-air personalities like this?
All right. It is a very big one because I know that in as much as life is concerned, it's God that protects one.
Exactly.
Right, it's God that protects one because even with your security personnel, when they want to come for you, they will find out they will invade you. They will invade you. So I feel that that lady was attacked, probably just like you said because of what she said. Secondly, maybe it could be that. Maybe someone sent those men. They are not armed robbers. They are practically hired assassins or something. So they hire them to go there and make sure they eliminate her and all that. So I also think too that in some of these stations and all that, security personnel are also important. Even if it is one or two, at least it will their presence there. In as much as anybody who wants to attack will still attack, but their presence there at least will scare some evil people away.
But this robbery was done in her house. So even if they have these security personnel in the organization where the work is done or at the office, what happens when they go home?
That means if this robbery was done in her house, practically it is someone someone that knows her very well that gave these men her direction to her house. Because in as much as I know it is, I feel that these persons are people who have known her to be this high-profile personality. So their reason for coming is not just to rob her, but to kill. All right.
But I don't think they killed her there. I think it was when she jumped.
She tried jumping.
Yes, that she fell, and probably when she was rushed to the hospital, she didn't make it. Okay. So I think that's the situation here. Now, talking about these high-profile personalities, should the company, for example, the news agency, be responsible for the security of their staff?
Well,
considering the nature of the job.
Well, I will not say they should be fully responsible concerning the security of their staff. You know, wisdom, they say, is profitable to direct.
To direct, yes.
In as much as you are a staff, you should be mindful. If you're giving into some certain jobs, you should know that you're giving in your life. There are some certain jobs, there are some certain things you do. You should know that you're giving in your life. Whatever it is, you're telling yourself, whatever it is, I must stand by the truth. Even if it warrants death, I remain in the truth. So there are some jobs that, whether you like it or not, people must come for you. So it's not really the right of your boss, all right, to provide the security personnel for you that will be moving you around and all that. Like I said, it's God that protects. It's God that guides. So if God does not want it to happen, it wouldn't have happened that way.
True. So now my last question is, what do you think should be done to these people? Because apparently some of them have already confessed to the fact that they actually committed this crime. So what do you think should be, what level of discipline or prosecution should be enough for this level of crime that they've committed?
I think they should jail them.
And then release them later to probably go back and commit more crimes.
No, jailing them is not like a 2 weeks.
That's the thing, but they will eventually be brought out. And then there's a possibility that when they are brought out, they will still go back and do the same thing.
Okay, it depends. Jailing them could also change them. Jailing them means that they might equally be there life imprisonment.
Yeah.
They can be there for 25 years, depending the number of time that the court wants to give them. But I tell you, a man who stays in jail, a young man, adding 25 years, God forbid, adding 25 years to my age in jail, if I come out, my head must correct. I must be calm.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your insight on that question. So the next one we have is the Human Rights Writers Association, I beg your pardon, of Nigeria, has accused the federal government of attempting to downplay decades of violence against Christians and indigenous Hausas in the north. The group described the Minister of Information's recent denial of genocide claims as reckless and disconnected from reality. Horiwa said killings, abductions, and targeted attacks on churches across Benue, Plateau, and Kaduna and other northern states clearly point to coordinated religious persecution. It argued that government's silence and perceived bias have worsened public distrust. The association links the situation to Nigeria's leadership structure, noting that the current all-Muslim presidential ticket has deepened feelings of marginalization among northern Christians. It said such imbalance violates constitutional secularism. Citing documented data, Horiwa stated that over 7,000 Christians were killed in the first 7 months of 2025 and more than 17,000 churches attacked since 2009. It added that Christians face administrative genocide through denial of land, worship rights, and governance participation. The group also highlighted the plight of indigenous Hausas, alleging ethnic cleansing by Fulani militias who have seized ancestral lands under the cover of banditry. It warned that official denial only damages Nigeria's credibility internationally. Horiwa called on the United States and other Western allies to pressure the Nigerian government into decisive action, including possible sanctions. It insisted that denial will not erase the facts of religious and ethnic violence in the north. What do you make of this story? So what are your thoughts on this story? Because we've had these cases over and over. You hardly see situations or cases where they say that Christians, went to a Muslims or the mosque, for example, and then burn down the mosque. Or because even here in our part of the world, you see them sometimes they pray on the road, and people just drive and pass. But why do we always have issues of, the Northerners or the Muslims, let me use that word because not all Northerners do that, always do these things to Christian over there? And even if, I feel like if they have the opportunity to do it here, they would also do it. So what could be the cause of this? What do you make of the story generally?
Okay, it is really well. Looking at this story here, it shows that the federal government is really giving them the right the audacity to do what they do. All right. If this thing happens here if it happens in South and Southeast, I tell you that federal government will rise. But because it is happening in the North and they feel it is their brother, so to them they feel that they just have to overlook whatever that is happening, whatever they want to do, let them do it. But if it is here that the Christians are killing the Muslim, I tell you, River State will not be peaceful.
True.
River State will never be peaceful because they will even be the one to supply more ammunition rather to their brothers. All right, to make sure that they fight back, to make sure that they kill back. But because this is now in the Christian family, and following the fact that we ought to love just as Christ loves us, so we don't retaliate
when things like this happen.
It now give them the right to do whatever they want to do because they know that we have a role model, and our role model in Christianity is Christ. And because Christ is our role model, we have to show the life of Christ. So, and these people, they know these things so much. They know it. They know that too well. And that is why they are taking advantage of it. They are taking advantage of it because they know that not that we Christians cannot fight back, but because we want to do what pleases God.
Exactly.
We have to live and align by the scripture. All right. So they now see it as an advantage to attack these men over there. They won't do anything. They don't have the power to do it. They are weak. They now see the Christians as weakling over there. So whenever they wake up and they feel that if these people are growing, they are increasing in stature, they have to bring them down. Because if we leave them, they will take over. They will dominate more than us. So we have to look for every means to bring them down. And that is what they are doing over there, which is not good.
And it's really more disheartening because we have the government or someone in the government denying that these things are happening when everyone can actually see that this has happened. What do you think would be the implication of this denial? Because it got to a point where it was on the news that I think some of the Christians over there or some of the indigents were asking that they should be given access to arms so they can defend themselves, because obviously the government is not doing anything to defend them. So what do you think would be the implication of this denial when it's very obvious that such things are happening and they are saying that these things are not happening?
1, tribalism. 2, religious. I know that in tribalism there are some people too, there are some Fulani that are Christians, but very minimal. All right? Religious too. When they look at it, these persons are Christian. We don't want them in our village. We don't want them in our community. We don't want them in our states and all that, and so on and so forth. So they try as much as they can to make sure that they bring these people down. So these government officials that are denying this fact, they are the ones instigating it. They are the ones making these troubles come to pass because they are the ones providing ammunitions. They are the ones providing it. These men, they are aware of what is happening, but they keep deaf ears because they feel we are Muslim. Those that are involved are Muslim. They are our brothers, according to their so their belief. So because they are our brothers, we don't just have to talk. Let's just leave them when they are done. And these are the problems. They don't like us. They don't, permit me to use the word, they don't like us.
But we are one Nigeria.
But we are one Nigeria. We are being deceived to be one Nigeria. Yet we are not one Nigeria. Because they don't like us. They don't like us. If you cannot, someone you like, you won't want to hurt the person. Okay. Someone you love, you won't want to do the person bad. If you love me, you will always want to prevent me from harm. You always talk to me about things that will put me into troubles, not things that will bring the trouble to me. All right, or things that when I eventually see myself Like I will see myself in them, knowing that I am in a mess. If you love me, you want to prevent me. If you love me, whenever you hear a conspired conspiracy against me, you will tell me that, see you, Bron, go out of this vicinity. So they claim to love us, but they don't love us. And that is why we are facing the things we face in Nigeria.
Okay, so now talking about security basically, because like I said, it's obviously getting out of hand, and in as much as I'm a Christian, I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I know that I can defend myself. Of course, I know that God is there for me and God is going to defend me. But in a situation where I have access to any form of weapon that would serve as a defense mechanism, should I, as a Christian, go ahead to get it to protect myself? Let me just say, okay, asking the question directly to you. If for any reason we hear that these people are coming towards this part of, the south and the southeast, and you have access, or would you want to have access? I think that's the word. Would you want to have access to weapons to defend yourself against these people?
All right.
Yes, because, I mean, it got so bad to the point where people over there were asking for arms.
Yeah.
These people are human beings. They also have families. They also have loved ones. So because they are Christians doesn't mean that they will. Even in the Bible, in the days of old, there were times when people had to go to war. So what happens?
So you're trying to bring in that in the days of John the Baptist?
No. I'm just saying. So if it gets to that point where, because it's been going on for years, and then we have the people who are supposed to be fighting for us or helping us, saying that these things are not happening. So would you rather just sit and then see these people come and then keep killing until they kill everyone? Or if you have the means to, arms and anything of that sort, would you want to go ahead to get one to protect yourself and your loved ones?
All right. You see, there's this song that they say, this Jesus that I know is enough.
Okay, so we are believing that Jesus will protect us.
No, I'm coming. Okay. If you feel that Jesus is enough for you, there are some things that follows that Jesus is enough for me. All right, including not fighting back.
So you would rather die?
So if Jesus is enough for you, Jesus is enough for you, you will want to die for his sake.
No, it's different.
All right. Now, that is
it's not. It's a different thing when just like when they have the martyrs in the days of old, where they were going to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
And they were killed.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just here, I'm a Christian, serving God in my own little way. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes from somewhere and then decides to just kill everyone in that place.
You see. If you look at the scripture, well, what it's actually saying is of the Old Testament.
Okay.
The New Testament
requires that we allow ourselves to be killed.
Requires loving Jesus. And loving Jesus goes with different things. Loving Jesus goes with different things altogether. All right? People will mess you up and make mockery of you and so on and so forth. But there are some Christians that still believe that if you give them those ammunitions, they will fight back. They are good to go.
Okay. So what's the certainty?
Let them protect themselves.
Since you said the New Testament requires us to, allow, let me not use the word allow ourselves to be killed, because it sounds somehow.
Yeah.
Since you've talked about what the New Testament requires, does that mean, okay, what's the certainty that every Christian who dies in the course of this, or who has died in the course of this whole attack and genocide and all of this, what's the certainty that they are all going to heaven?
Fine. Now, there is a certainty of you going to heaven. There is only one criteria.
Okay. Which is?
Accepting Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior.
So,
being born again.
Even after being born again, do people not still commit sin? How are you 100% certain that what you're doing is not wrong?
Okay. If we are going deep into this, I think we'll actually go out of what we are saying today. But let me just give a little clue. Let me just give a little clue to that. Yes. You see, the death of Christ gave us grace. All right. Paul said in one of the scriptures, shall we continue sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Now, grace has been given to us to be saved. We are saved. When you receive Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior, you are saved. Except for those that are just going to church, that have not confessed Christ as their Lord and personal Savior. You are saved. But there is something there, there's something, and if you are being saved, you should be careful the way you live your life. You don't just live your life now like that of those who are still in the world.
Okay.
There should be this consciousness that Christ has saved me. Because he has saved me, I shouldn't take him for granted. You see, a lot of persons live their life anyhow after they are being saved. That's because they are now taking it for granted. And that is why Paul said, shall we continue in sin that this grace may abound? Now, as you continue in sin, the grace abounds, but it is not good. That is why he says, God forbid. So utilize that pact which you have received from Christ. Walk according to it. There's difference from sinning unknowingly, and there's difference from going into sin purposely.
Okay, and I want to ask more questions because you say that way. Because I wanted to ask, is it that all sins are not? Isn't a sin is a sin?
Yes.
Whether you do it intentionally or you don't do it intentionally, right?
Yeah.
So okay, but
No, I'm trying to.
Okay.
Now, all sin is sin, quite all right. But the sins you did unknowingly, these are sins that this grace you have received, will scare you through. All right. But the purpose once you do, it can take you out of that grace again. It can make you fall because this is what you did, or this is what you're doing. You know that this thing you're doing is not right, and you know you still insist that you want to do it. Let me do it. All right. This is where that statement of Apostle Paul comes in. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? And he said, God forbid.
Thank you very much for your insights on that question, because just like you said, if we continue, we may not leave here today. So the next story we have is former Carmelite nun has married a Catholic priest after their bond, first formed in prayer sessions, blossomed into love. The quiet union, held in March, was recently revealed on social media, drawing wide public attention. The couple met over 6 years ago while serving as missionaries. At the time, Jackson Dognini was in seminary, while Lice Dognini lived in a convent dedicated to prayer and service. Their friendship deepened after Lice left the convent to recover from depression. Jackson reached out with words of support, and what began as prayers slowly grew into an emotional connection. Years later, Jackson decided to leave the priesthood to pursue a new path. The pair began dating in April 2024, got engaged in October, and exchanged vows 5 months later. The couple shared their story with followers, describing it as a mature decision rooted in self-awareness and mutual respect. Their revelation has attracted a mix of admiration and warm wishes online. What do you make of this story, sir?
Okay. Now I want to start this way. He made a good move.
He made a good move.
Yes.
But I thought they are not supposed to get married.
That is why I said I want to start this way, because now I'm not trying to say that what he did is the right thing. Okay. I'm not trying to give him an accolade on what he did. You see, I keep saying it, especially within the Catholic circle. Within the Catholic circle, if you cannot stay, there's no point becoming a priest.
But he was already a priest.
That is what I'm saying.
So are there no religious implications for this thing? And meaning the Catholic sector.
Why I even said he did the right thing, it's even better he dropped following a woman than being in it and you're fornicating.
But I thought he had or made a vow that he was going to be there.
Yes, he made a vow. He made a vow. Maybe at the long run, he has allowed his heart to be filled with worldly things, the things of the world, the pleasures of life. All right. Now, instead of him deceiving himself and deceiving others, this is the best move. He should just quit and follow the path he has chosen to follow. That is the best. Instead of deceiving people. Instead of deceiving himself, because it's even the worst, and it will keep giving Christianity a bad name. Okay. Look at them. See them now. The church people. All right? These are the people, even father them. You've heard those words, even pastors do it. Yeah. You see such words coming. They are not good in the body of Christ. They don't make sense. I believe before you have decided to answer the call of God upon your life, and if there is, you should be able to deal with some certain things in your life, including lust, including the love of money. You should be able to deal with these things, because these are the things the enemy used to fight those who are of God. These are these things that the enemy used to fight those who are of God. So if you're unable to deal with these things, you will see yourself involving in things that does not make sense. So I feel this is the best. For me, I feel it is the best. I'm not trying to say what he did is right, all right? But instead of him, there are a lot of them, Catholic priests that they are there. People see them as fathers, but they have families outside. They have hidden families outside. Now, who are they deceiving? It's better you come out open and say, oh, I am quitting. I am resigning from priesthood, from the church. I want to marry. Now, I'm not trying to to give a higher accolade to other denominations. At least Anglican is just like Catholic too, but their pastors marry. Apostle Paul in the scripture said, it is better you stay alone and leave the troubles of this world, so that you will focus Christ. But if you feel you cannot, you marry. So some of these men, if they feel they cannot, if they feel they love women, let them quit and follow what they love and what they want.
Thank you very much for insight in that question. So because of time, this is where I must say that this has been a very interesting conversation. Right. Thank you so much for gracing us today with your presence. So this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atlantic Society Watch. Thank you once again, sir, for coming.
Thank you very much.
We are open for sponsorship of this program, jingles and adverts placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product, service, promotion and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv, Able TV channel 205, Lemex TV platform, Ifastech platform, Apple TV, Nigeria TV, Iroko TV. Connect with us on our 18 socials, subscribe, like and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, now X, Atlantic TV Net. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Francis Neka.